y'all, it's Jeannie from Bushnell Unscripted, and I thought I would try to do a WIP and Chat a little differently than I've ever attempted before. So I am sitting in my recliner chair, and I have a table here and my light board, and I'm about to work on the very last square of my Diamond Art Club canvas that is the Cardinal Couple. So I thought we'd work on that, and I know it's a little different angle here, but you're right beside me. Actually beside me and in my lap. So we're very intimate here. It's 1 in the morning, and I wanted to do a little work here. We'll see how we get along. And then you, of course, can feel free to give me feedback on what you think. So we're gonna take off our release paper. And we will see what we can get done here. Now, I have kitted this kit up in many ways. I have some in the Diamond Art Club trays, and then I have just some drills in the little suitcase containers. But the thing I've fallen in love with, if you've seen any of my recent videos, is this tray from Firefly Diamond Art. It's just beautiful. It is a rechargeable one, and you can use this while it's plugged in too. That opens to pour out but it lights up. And so tonight I worked outside for the first time in the dark. I just had my light board and my little twinkle tray. This is called a twinkle tray, and it's by Firefly Diamond Art. I totally recommend this. This has taken off so much strain from my eyes. So while I'm working on some of this tonight, I'll be pouring some of my drills in here. But yeah, this is just a fantastic tray. I really am enjoying this so much. I'm not an affiliate, I'm not an associate of them at all, but I really enjoy it. So, how is everyone doing? We're coming up on Memorial Day weekend. I don't have any big plans. I need to trim my cat Winnie's nails and also cut some of her hair because she's 19 years old and she doesn't groom like she used to anymore, and so she's starting to get a few mats in her hair all the time. I've increased her brushing. It doesn't seem to help. She is on salmon oil as part of her supplement for her meals, but it's not helping either. So I'm just going to continue cutting out the areas when they crop up. It's the best thing I can do according to the vet. So that's what we've been doing. I just need to give her a little spa day this weekend at some point. And that's about the biggest thing on my agenda. This will be my last Memorial Day weekend in my 40s. I don't know how that happened, but here we are. You know, I guess it's true. All my life I heard older people say it goes by so quickly, and when you're younger and you're waiting to get, I was always so excited to grow up. I couldn't wait to get older. It feels like it takes forever. Everything. You're just always waiting for the next step, waiting for graduation, waiting for prom, waiting for college, waiting for this, waiting for that. And then suddenly, you're not waiting so much anymore. You're going and doing and going and doing and going and doing, and you're more tired than anything else. So, I will mark the holiday with a sense of reverence, you know. I know some people don't care about their birthdays, and not much ado has ever been made of mine. So I like birthdays, and I celebrate other people's birthdays. Even if I don't know you very well, I celebrate you, and I try to let you know how special you are, because you are special. You're here, you're alive, you're special. And I don't think just the milestone birthdays are the ones that should be celebrated or made much to do over. I think everything is a great celebration. I happen to believe that every day we are above ground is a day of magic, a day of thankfulness. So I think it's wonderful to celebrate, and I do intend to celebrate my birthday, and I also do hold, reverence for making it this far in life. So it is pretty amazing to think that I'm leaving my 40s behind. I don't know, it feels like such a cliff to go into the 50s. It's not something I dread or worry about. Don't misunderstand me. It's simply, it is a big deal. And I never take these moments for granted, because in my family, there are frequently early deaths. Both of my grandparents on my mother's side, her parents died at 45 years old. So It's not something that I dismiss. I have had friends who haven't made it to 49. So I do hold a special place for noting that, hey, you've made it and survived to this point. And as I constantly am researching on Ancestry.com, I'm amazed at the variety of ages that people survived. Some were very young, some were very old. It's very interesting to me. So I don't have big plans this weekend. I live in Charlotte, but I don't attend the NASCAR events. Never been into NASCAR, so I won't be attending any of those. I'd love to hear what plans you have. I know some people like to go camping, some people go to the beach, some people use this time of year to tie in their vacations. What are you doing? Looks like it's going to be a nice weekend as far as weather. I've had a fairly busy week. I've attended May 20th in Charlotte is the big celebration we have. Well, I say big. It really was big at one time. It's become a smaller celebration, but there is still a celebration. It's MECDEC. It's Mecklenburg County. It's the Declaration of Mecklenburg. This year is the 250th anniversary of the county's declaration declaring independence from Britain. And Mecklenburg County was the first in the nation to do so. So there have been some very exciting events. There have been, I've attended, just Wednesday, I attended a screening of a documentary that'll be playing on PBS in 2026, and it's about the United States Constitution and how our forefathers gathered to hold conference, and how the Constitution actually came to light through their actions. Very interesting. one of the things that the movie highlighted was the fact that they were not staying in fancy hotels or anything like that. There wasn't air conditioning, so they had to share rooms, and it was very warm, hot and humid summer in Charlotte, and they would go and pretty much debate with each other for hours the entire day in rooms that they did not have the windows open to help with cross breezes, because they wanted to keep all of the meetings under lock and key. They didn't want what they were talking about to get out. So they didn't open the windows. And so it was just sultry and miserable, and you can just imagine what it was like. And I never thought about that before, and how the effect of the type of environment you're in when you're meeting to discuss something as important as creating a Declaration of Independence for a new country. And because this documentary is not about Mecklenburg, it's about the country. And that was really interesting to me. Not two pieces stuck together there. Just thinking about how they were miserable and trying to sometimes tempers flared, sometimes wanting to get something done. The heat actually helped, because then people were more inclined to move something forward, because they wanted to get out of that hot room and stop talking about it. And I thought that was really neat. But it's a really good documentary. And then before that, went to Hopewell Presbyterian Church. That was one of the first churches in the county. There were a number of them that were basically they were separate churches, but they worked together to promote the independence of the county. And at this church, they had events to celebrate the 250th anniversary. They had some music. They showed some of the artifacts that they have at the church, and basically gave a lot of information about how it came to be. And let's see. And then I went to a book signing. There's a new book, and I got a copy of it. I'll link to it below. A local author. This one has two authors. The two women researched about the signers of the Mecklenburg Declaration. So it's a book that details who they were and It's really neat. I've read a little bit of it already. So I find that all very interesting. So there's been a lot of activities this week that I've attended. And then also, I am a care partner for someone who has epilepsy and who has bipolar disorder 1, narcissistic personality disorder, and also has a traumatic brain injury. So he finally was able to go in and have a neurological appointment. He was waiting a few years to get this appointment, and we learned some new things. We wanted the appointment because there have been some changes in his health, some concerning things. He's only 56, but he does have some sundowning issues, and that was one of the concerns that we wanted to go over to find out, what changes could be occurring in his brain. They are going to run an MRI. They haven't done that yet, but when we were there, the doctor asked if he wanted to do a test for Alzheimer's, and it was just a blood test. And it used to be they did a spinal tap as well as a PET scan. Well, now they have a blood test that they can do, that they are looking for a protein in the blood, and this test is, believe it or not, 95% accurate. So he agreed to that, and we are waiting on the results for that. So that was very informative, because I was not aware that this specific protein can alert to Alzheimer's. And then if it is a positive test, there are some medical medications that can be done as a therapy to help reduce that protein in the brain, which will then allow the patient to be able to buy more time. It slows down Alzheimer's, so we're not ready for that discussion yet, but that would be the next step if the test comes back positive. So if they do not discover anything like lesions or tumors on the brain in the MRI scan, and the Alzheimer's test comes back negative, then basically he's looking at early onset dementia, which dementia is simply a diagnosis of symptoms. Alzheimer's is a disease. Dementia is basically like a cluster of symptoms. And while he is considered young for that, you can't deny what someone is going through. And trying to say, okay, well, why if there's nothing on the brain that's showing causation for it, then for him, he has to fall back on the fact that he does have a traumatic brain injury and the fact that he does have to take medications for his mental health, and those do cause slowing down, things that can contribute to some of the symptoms that he has. So we're just kind of waiting now to see what the blood test comes back, and then see if the MRI, we don't even have it scheduled yet. They'll be calling to do that. If that produces any results. So it was a good visit, but again, it's one of those times, not unlike what I just said about growing up, where you're like, it's hurry up to wait, because it's more waiting between the steps. So we take the step and make the appointment, and then you wait, then you get in, and you're expecting perhaps a lot of answers with just a consultation, but usually a consultation only produces more questions and the opportunity for more tests. And then of course we have to wait for the test results to come back, and so at least he's had the step of getting in and getting some of the testing done. But that really, I really was not aware that they had that test now. So that's really good. It's way less invasive than other testing. These little ABs do not want to pick up. So yeah. If any of you have experience with dementia or Alzheimer's, please feel free to chime in with your experience. I always appreciate your feedback and the things that you share with me. So it's been a busy week. Man, I love this tray so much. I can't imagine going back to regular trays after this. I can see me. These are not inexpensive. At the time I purchased this, and the price may come down as he produces more, I don't know. But this was $50, and I have to say, well spent. I've had no regrets. It does have some heft to it, and I appreciate that, because it doesn't go sliding everywhere like if you want to set it down. It's not as easy to spill because of its heft. It's my ice machine. If you're wondering what that sound is. It's making ice. Made some tea earlier, so it's refilling the ice, which I'm grateful for. I've tried to, not only do I have a particular fondness for the celebrations for Mecklenburg County, but I am also trying to get out and enjoy some of the festivals, because it just gets so hot in Charlotte that in the summer, due to my heat intolerance, I just cannot handle being out at a lot of the festivals that they hold later in the summer. I'm just not able to do it. So that's why I've been a little MIA lately, and trying to backtrack and catch up on videos that I'm tagged in, and I apologize if please don't think that I'm overlooking you or ignoring you. Sometimes I do not receive my notifications. I have to actually log into the system and go and find out if I've been mentioned. I'm not receiving those notices, so please do not feel that it's a personal slight. I would not do that. And you're more than welcome to always inquire if I've seen something, or, let me know. But right now, I am fairly busy. I'm still trying to get my deck completed. This deck work is, I finally have had a couple of companies come out, and they've declared it's easy work. They can get done quickly. It's just some repair work on my deck. But one company said he didn't have any time until October. And I'm thinking, if it's such a small job, why can't we get it done quickly? But okay, I understand. But he never sent an estimate. And then I had another one out, and again, it was, oh yeah, this will be quick. He actually had a different route that he would take for a solution. He was going to send an estimate as well. Still waiting on these estimates that I'm fairly certain are never coming. I've sent reminders to both of them. Nothing. And it's doubly frustrating for me, because I am a real estate agent, and these are companies that were referred to me, and I did not let them know who I am as a real estate agent, because I wanted to see the experience for my customers. I mean, a lot of times I'll have clients who they need a referral for somebody, and it's a really big deal for me to say, well, here's a referral that I have for you, and I could not, even while I believe that these two companies do fantastic work, I would not want to recommend them to a client, because my client will be so frustrated and heartbroken by not receiving phone calls back, not receiving the work that they're expecting back. It's just, that is unacceptable to me. And it's, my father was a contractor, and I helped him while I was growing up. That was part of my job, was I had to assist my father with his business. And it wasn't a big business. It was literally just my dad and me. And I was raised with such a different work ethic. My father would go and give someone or a business an estimate, and they had that estimate in hand. If not that night, they would have it within 24 hours. And my father didn't have a computer. He hand wrote everything. And of course, we didn't have email. And so he would, not only come out and give you a free estimate for work, but he would return with the estimate in hand. So no one ever had to call him to find out where their estimate was. Do you want this job? That was not. So I have a very intimate knowledge of how this should happen. And especially in this day and age, that's how you know you're getting old too, is when you start using phrases like in this day and age. Well, I'm already there. So yeah, I have been disappointed, to say the least. Really wanted to get moved on this, and it is another hurry up and wait situation. Don't know where I'm going from here with it. I just need it done. So, fortunately, I don't have a timeline in place. That would be really nice to be able to know, well, it'll be done by June 15th, July 4th, whatever. But I don't have that. So, that's really disappointing, and I'd love to have that scheduled and have something to look forward to, but sadly I don't. I am trying to get back into gardening. I usually have so much done by this time of year, and I'm giving myself grace because I have really been struggling since my dog Hillary died in October. I just don't have the desire to do any yard work whatsoever, and it feels very sad without her. She was my constant companion, and she was the sweetest. She was a Siberian Husky, and she was only 10 years old, and it just feels weird to be in the yard without her. She was just always there, and now it just feels horrible. So I've been so excited, unmotivated to be in the yard. Just don't want to be out in it. And I'm trying. I'm trying to get back out to take care of my yard and do my flower beds. I actually weeded a good portion of a fire bed and put down some mulch, and usually I find that very cathartic and exciting, and I don't know, it just doesn't have the same feeling at all. But I'm trying baby steps with that. But I am also respecting the place of grief that I'm in. It's really difficult. I never expected to have Hillary. She was a rescue. I was in a situation to help her when she was 2 years old, and I never expected to have another dog. After I had raised my 3 and been there with them to the end, I didn't expect to have another one. So having her was a completely unplanned event, and I just miss her so greatly. So I'm trying. and I'm working in real estate. It's been really busy lately. Slowing down a little bit for me, but I have been working there. And then I also am a writer, and I am trying to put forth a different version of my first book, and I haven't finished that. I have a new series that I'm working on that I here and there am attaching new pieces to, but it's not polished or ready or anything whatsoever. And then of course I do create art, and so I've been very busy in addition to my full-time care for someone else. And I've got my little Winnie cat. So I do have my hands full, and I'm trying to do my videos for YouTube, and sometimes, unfortunately, there's just not enough hours in the day to go and do everything that I would like to do, or be present. I'm not able to attend all the, YouTube doesn't alert me to so many. I sign up for notifications on sites, but many times I don't see that someone's going live until I just happen to see it myself. So I haven't had a lot of time to go around and visit everybody, but I'm hoping that will change soon, and I'll be able to do more and engage more, because I certainly enjoy engaging with everyone. And again, please don't take it as a slight. I just I'm not at a place in my life where I am retired or able to just fully participate and be available as often as I'd really enjoy, but I do my best, and I may end up commenting on one of your videos that's quite old to you, but I do try to engage and let you know I've been by. I do want to thank y'all, and thank you for helping my channel grow. It's slowly but surely, and that's fine with me. I appreciate each one of you, and your time is precious, and the time that you give to me, I appreciate. And I know that you have millions of other choices, so thanks for choosing me today. I really appreciate that. Oh, I also had dental work this week. As I say, this week, and this week has been an example of the past month I've had. So, this cardinal event, I ended up not being able to do as much as I would have liked to have done with Laura from Have Coloring Books Will Travel. If you haven't followed her or liked her, I encourage you to do so. She is a colorist, and she also does diamond painting, and I've done some lives with her. We have a great time together. So she is a great friend, and I encourage you to check her out. But we've worked on this canvas together, And there initially were a number of people who said they wanted to work on it as well, or work on a card, excuse me, not this one specifically, but work on a cardinal kit. And some people I never heard from again. But we had some great activities and feedback, and I appreciate that. And I think Nancy from Pampered with Diamonds, she has done all the things, participated, and finished a kit. She actually did the kit that, the first one that I did, which was the, I've forgotten the name now, but it's from Diamond Dots, and it is a winter scene of a cardinal. 2 cardinals as well. And I wanted to do this one and that one comparatively because they had similar imagery, and I wanted to see how we can look at the two and really decide, you know, does it really make a difference? I don't know what that was. You ever hear a beep in your house and have no clue what that was? Well, that just happened to me. Anyway, I wanted to be able to see, you know, is there a great difference between such a similar image? Yes, this is spring, and it's got more to it in the fact that the Diamond Dots is a partial, and this one is a complete filled design. But they're very similar pictures, so I thought it was a good opportunity to really compare Diamond Art Club and Diamond Dots. So that'll be part of my completion, is comparing the two. Diamond Dots, you can pick up a lot of their kits for $10, especially at places like Walmart. They do have other kits and other price points, but they do try to create a budget-friendly line. And they do have exclusives that are available at Walmart. So if you're looking at, well, you know, should I get this one for $10, or you know, this one I had purchased at Amazon and it was $24 at the time. They've since moved this to their main website, and you can pick it up there. But it does cost more because they're adding a tariff surcharge. Or maybe they're not calling it a surcharge, but they're calling it an extra fee. I do know that. But I thought it was a good opportunity to be able to compare and say, well, if you've got $25 or you've got $10, where is your better investment? And undoubtedly, and they're both rounds, so you're going to have more. With this one being larger, of course you're going to have more to do, okay? But also, what about the finished image and satisfaction? You know, a lot of times diamond painters are just seeking the actual process of diamond painting. And, you know, if I can actually do more canvases that feeds my need for the process versus worrying about keeping the diamond paintings. Because my diamond paintings I either gift or I keep. And it's not just about the process for me. So for me, I do look at things like, well, this is $25, but there's more to do, and I might be happier with the rendering. I might enjoy special drills more and things like that. So both kits had special drills in different ways, so that's a good thing to measure as well. So look for that for my completion, and we'll be able to go over that. But I was in the middle of thanking Nancy. Thank you, Nancy, for participating in the event this year. And she did win I had a little, every now and then in my videos, I'm going to do a thing that I don't highlight. It's not going to be mentioned. It's just I call it a watch and win. And I will give direction on something to do. And she did follow instruction. And she won a little something that's coming her way. So, that's just something I wanted to offer and give back. Because I really do appreciate the participation, and looking forward to doing more. I'm constantly learning with each event and activity. In June, starting June 1st, I'm having a DP along, diamond painting along, of the Gemini Zodiac Kittens from Diamond Art Club. So if you have that canvas, come along. We have a Discord set up. We have an events page, so in the Facebook group. So you'll be seeing me working on that one. I just thought it was very appropriate. For those of you who don't know, Gemini is the sign of June. That is my zodiac sign. So that will be one of my next events coming up. I've got a lot coming up planned, so stay tuned, and I hope to be able to do a lot more with presence of lives and things like that, and really look forward to your participation. Also coming up is Summer with the Masters that Diamonds and Washi does. I know she's done it in the past. I haven't participated before. I actually need to go and hunt down the information about it for this year to even make sure that she's doing it. I haven't heard otherwise, but I also haven't seen anything, so I will do that. But for that one, I wanted to do a Mona Lisa from Diamond Dots, so that'll be coming up. And that also correlates with my Lego kit. I'll be returning to. I've put up a video for that of where I started the build for the framed Mona Lisa. I love Legos. You know, on this site, on my channel here, I do a lot of things. I know that I could do many channels. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to spread out all of my interests in that way. I think that it's just as easy to create playlists for all my videos, and if you are only interested in diamond painting, you can choose to only watch diamond painting. You don't have to watch Legos or any of my unboxings or anything like that, or my book videos. You don't have to watch those at all. Everything will be in a playlist and you can just watch that. And for me, that's the thing that makes the most sense, is to put everything in playlists and just go from there. I participate in a lot of crafts, and you can see some of it on my channel, but I'll be doing more things with sewing and more of my junk journals and more painting and punch kits and paper crafts. And I don't want a channel for each topic. And I know some people may say, oh, you want to be as niche as possible. For me, that's not my personality, number one. Being a Gemini, that's not my personality. I have a lot of interest, and, you know, somebody may find me looking for an unboxing that I did on a paper cutter, and then become interested in, oh wait, what is diamond painting? So I kind of just go where I made that decision, I believe, with the universe's blessing, because I just don't. It takes a lot of work to maintain a channel, and I don't want to do that for 12 different channels, because something will fall through the cracks. And it's very easy to subscribe to a page and follow the playlist and be notified when a video hits on the playlist of interest that you like. So I'd rather believe that I have savvy watchers than believe that, oh no, they may give up on me because I haven't done a diamond painting video, and, you know, all they've seen are videos for how to make strawberry jam or whatever Jeannie's doing today. That's really, if you're gonna stick around these parts with me, that's how it's gonna be. I'm a lifelong learner, and I enjoy that, and I encourage everyone to be. There's so much to discover about our world and about ourselves, and I don't put myself in a box, and I want you to know me. I mean, part of the reason why you're here is to know me. You've either felt like you like me, you enjoy my personality, you like my material, and in knowing me, well, I have a lot of interest, and you can choose what to watch. You know, one day you see, oh, Jeannie's showing us about her plant tower. I don't have any interest in that at all. Please feel free to you're not obligated to watch. I'm grateful when you do, but you're not obligated, and I get it. Sometimes it's just not your cup of tea, and that's okay. No hard feelings, no worries. So, I've really enjoyed this canvas. I've really enjoyed participating in its completion with Laura. It's one thing I really enjoy about YouTube is that something that, like diamond painting, that is a very solo endeavor, we're able to enjoy with others and create a community. And it is quite a community with many different personalities here on YouTube. So I think you can find just about anybody in the right matching personality that suits your interests. But there are plenty of us creators out here, and if one of us isn't to your liking, just keep searching, and I guarantee you within a few minutes you'll find another one of us that you'll probably click with, because it is important. It's always like I used to say, I used to own a bakery in Black Mountain, a vegan bakery. I'm a vegan, and I always used to tell people I really believe in the power of liking the person who makes your food. I really believe that that's kind of vital. When you're making food, you're putting your time, your energy, and your heart into it. At least I do. And part of you goes into that food. And I strongly believe that if you don't enjoy me, you won't like my food. Have you ever eaten at someone's home that you didn't like? I have. And the food just doesn't taste right, does it? You don't enjoy it. Even if it's your favorite meal, I bet you find something slightly off about it. Yeah, it was okay, but it could have been better. It really rarely has anything to do with the food itself. It has to do with the person. It has to do with your experience. So, yeah, I do want people who like me to want to be here, because I think it's essential. Otherwise, you'll find lots of flaws. There will be no grace. When we like someone, our default status is to give them grace. And when we don't like someone, we're pretty harsh. Or at least we can be. We can be harsh, and we can withhold grace, right? Because we want people to if we don't like someone, we sometimes believe that they have to earn that grace. It's a human condition. So I do hope that the people who find me and stick around genuinely do like me and aren't here because, oh, she says that word funny, or wow, some days she's really tired, has a strong accent, and other days I don't hear it as much. That's just how I am. When I'm really tired or angry, you're going to hear more of a accent in me. I get more relaxed. And other times it's not as prevalent. In part, that has a lot to do with I moved around a lot as a child, and so I do have a lot of accents I've picked up here and there and here and there, and they do kind of mesh into just who I am. We all strive to be loved and liked. From the moment we're born, we're craving attention from another. We are. We need to be fed. We need to be held. We need to be comforted. We need to be changed. We need others from the moment we're born. We cry out. That doesn't stop. We still need each other. Now, I was raised in a very abusive home. And it was physically abusive and mentally abusive. And in my home, you were not allowed to state needs. Needs were seen as being coddled. I didn't even know that needs were a thing because I was taught that, well, if that's what you want, see, words are important. It's what you want. It's not what you, quote, need, right? If I had had parents who said, I understand that's what you need versus, no, Jeannie, that's what you want. And wanting is selfish, and wanting is, you may not always get that. Okay, that's what I was taught. So it's taken me into my adulthood to learn that no, we all do have needs. And one of those needs is feeling loved, wanting to be liked, wanting to be heard. And the only people who don't want that for you are people who benefit from you not having those needs met. So as we interact with one another and we get to know each other, I do want the community that I'm participating in here and trying to also build, I do want it to be built on kindness and love and respect, because I recognize we all need that. And I'm here to tell you that if you were also raised in a... Oops, there goes my drill. If you were also raised in a household that did not allow you to have a voice for that need, I'm going to encourage you to listen to your spirit and your heart and know that there's absolutely nothing wrong with needing what you need to feel whole and good. There is nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. So, having whether you want to call it followers, supporters, friends, here on this channel means for me that I want people who genuinely enjoy me and like me. Otherwise, you just aren't going to even enjoy the information I'm giving you. And there are millions of personalities on YouTube. You can find the one that suits you best, like a Pringles flavor. I haven't had Pringles in years. their price increased so dramatically, and I couldn't. It always used to be like $1 for a Pringles can, right? I don't even know what it is now. I did see yesterday in the store. I don't know how much it cost because it didn't even have a published like sticker at the grocery store. But I did see that it was a Pringles can, but it had minis in it. It had different mini kind of snacks. I thought that was really strange. It gave me pause for a moment to look at it, but not enough to go closer and find out more information. But oh, y'all, I hope that you stay safe this summer, as we seem to be getting hotter and hotter around the globe, and the summers just become almost, in my opinion, unbearable. Please stay cool out there, and remember that your body can overheat, and you do need some recovery time. And please just be safe out there. It's a lot on our bodies. Even if you think you're okay, it can quickly turn. Trying to decide. I think I'll bring this WIP and Chat to a close, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Did you enjoy this? Is this too weird of an angle? Is it okay? Does it matter? I know for me it wouldn't matter at all, because usually when I'm watching other people's WIP and Chats, I'm either working on diamond painting, or I'm working on paperwork, or I'm working on another craft, or I'm cooking. I do watch. I put my phone up, or I put it on the TV, and I watch other people's WIP and Chats while I'm cooking. See ya here. Wants to come with me? Okay, y'all. Thank you for being here. It's now 2:10 in the morning, and you helped me get some of this square done, which I appreciate. Thanks for coming along and showing me love and being kind. You know, I never know if people are appreciative or accepting, I should say, of when I say, I hope you're keeping love and kindness on repeat. But I truly hope you are. Because if we're all doing that, then we're all receiving that. And what a good thing to do for another, as well as how good does that feel to receive it. Please be safe this weekend. There'll be a lot of crazy behavior, as there always is around every holiday. I hope you take a moment to remember what it's about. Memorial Day is not just about cookouts and more fireworks. And my poor sweet Hillary, that's one thing that I'm glad she doesn't have to endure anymore, is the fireworks that are just shot out all over I wish people were more considerate with that, because it is very hard on animals, as well as those who suffer from PTSD. So a little kindness and a little more love can get us just to a more preferred place. And like the Declaration, a better union. A more perfect union. Be careful out there. And as always, I hope you're keeping love and kindness on repeat. And until I see you, bye-bye.